Muppin Sewing Emporium. How are you doing today? I hope you are wonderfully well. My name is, of course, if you did not know, it is Cheryl Muppin Whited. How are you doing? Give me a thumbs up or tell me if you can hear me, because, of course, I would love to hear from you tonight. My friends, we have some fun going on. It is the day after Independence Day, and oh boy, yes. Hello, Charlotte. I am also melting. It is very, very warm outside. So gross. So tired of this hot weather. As a matter of fact, that's why it seems so dark and mysterious in here. It's because the lights are almost all off here in the studio, because it's boiling outside and inside. So hello, the Mountain Creek Quilt Shop. Welcome. How are you doing tonight? So, my friends, yes, hot, gross, disgusting outside. Says here that it's 85 outside. I don't believe that. I actually think it's warmer, and I think that the heat, the humidity is making it worse. Right? June is here tonight. Hello, June. How are you? Miss Mary is here. And usually where Mary is, Jerry is not far behind. So, hello, good evening on this boiling evening where we are all sweltering together. It is a very hopefully quiet evening here in downtown Paducah. Last night was bumpin' because we had all of the people in town to go downtown to the fireworks show, and that was a lot of fun. So we got to watch the fireworks. Jerry's there next to you. Good. Yay. um and so, yes, so we got like mood lighting going on in here tonight. That's why it's very much darker in here than it usually is. We do have new product to show you. It's like almost here. It will be here on Wednesday. And so I could not wait to show it to you. So we actually have it up ready for order from our website right now. So if you come in though, it's not going to be here. Yes, fireworks were great. We actually where we were we sat on the lawn of the Quilt Museum, and there weren't I felt no bugs. So I feel like if you were away from the river, it was less buggy. But I had a great time. And Max, of course, he didn't want to go, but then I really wanted to go because I love fireworks. So we made him go, and he had a good time. Of course, he liked the fireworks once they were shooting, but he's 13. Okay, so back to my story. We have new product coming in, and this one is, it's like chef's kiss, such a great product. I love this new one, and I'm going to talk about why this one like spoke to me, and I'll just show it to you. Okay, here it comes. Okay, so this is it. And as you can see, it's a map. And if you know anything about our first year ish in the shop, I had in my office a map. It was a map of the United States. And on that map was like buttons for everywhere that we have visited. And I used to have this hanging in my office because I would put like everywhere that we had gone and did a show, and of course anywhere that I had traveled to and taught, I had on this map with little buttons everywhere that there was a place. And I can't tell you the number of times people would ask me for that particular panel. And I finally got to the point where I took the quilt down because so many people wanted that panel. And I couldn't. So then I got into a whole thing where I was going to make my own maps. Okay. I was going to design my own map. I was going to have a company print them. And I think we got like an initial run of like, I don't know, like 20 maps. And they were so expensive, like so expensive. And that whole thing just got to a point where I couldn't do it. I couldn't keep that train rolling. And the money that I could have spent on those, I should have been spending on books and things like that, because we're always running out of books because everybody loves our books. So here comes Riley Blake, and they announced that they are going to do this map. And this map is based on old school maps, like the big kinds that you would pull down, like at the front of the classroom, there'd be like those maps. This was that map. This was a United States school map. And I had to have it. This is the entire reason I opened a Riley Blake account was to get Mr. Boney and this map. Okay? So, hello, Joy. How are you tonight? I hope you're doing well. So, the map. Okay? So the map is amazing, and it is going to be here on Wednesday. Now, okay, so on top of that, Riley Blake was like, hey, we have a free pattern and you can have said free pattern. And I was like, thanks. I would like the free pattern. Thank you. And they came up with this design, a really cute map, right? So the map panel, and then this border print, which is old dictionary pages. Like, could not say no to this. Okay, so we have both the map and the dictionary pages yardage coming in on Wednesday. But here's the best part. It's already available for sale. So you can buy it right now, and we will ship you yours when it comes in on Wednesday. If you are local, you can place your order online, and you can pick up your order after Wednesday. So I am so excited. I've not been this excited about a panel probably since Mr. Boney. And that's saying something, because I adore Mr. Boney. Like, Mr. Boney, I will say, has been our best selling panel. And this has the potential to be our other best-selling panel. Now here's why, right? Because, there's always that, like, what kind of brain wave do I have when I decide to do these things, right? And it's 100% because, like, I had this very similar, not as cool as this. Okay, this one is way cooler. Okay, thank you, Kathy. It is very cool. Joy, I agree with you. Very cool. Uh, this panel, not only is it because it's so retro, right? It's like the old school pull down map, right? With those colors and everything. Um, Charlotte, it's the exact yardage for to do the border. So some people like a pattern for that. Um, and so uh the old school map, the colors, the retro. I'm so digging it. I'm so digging this. Like I can't even. And so I know because we get literally people from all over the United States, people who come to Paducah from everywhere. They come here to because of course we're the pilgrimage place. Um we get a lot of people. It is a 24 by 44 panel, so it's 24 inches wide. Um, and it is did they come in? No, they're coming on Wednesday. Missy, I know. I haven't called you yet because they're not here yet. They're coming on Wednesday. Um, the holiday, and they come from Utah, which is where all of the Riley Blake product ships from. They come from Utah. And I don't know what it is about Utah. You're off on Wednesday. Well, I might see you. Of course, I don't know what time they will be here on Wednesday. So don't plan like everything until I hear like for sure that they're coming. Um, my poor FedEx guy, because he's gonna have to carry this box with all of these panels in it. Yeah, it's this. So okay, where was I? Right. This panel, so great. And again, not been this excited, but it's because the people come to visit Paducah. They're from all over, and they're making these, like, sometimes they're visiting us like mid trip, mid road trip. And these are the folks that would have looked into my office and saw that map like quilt sitting there and going, oh my gosh, I really need that. And I'm like, yeah, except that panel is so old. I know I can't get it anymore. And they're like, oh, that's too bad. I really would get. I really would get that. They are $11. And then, of course, the yardage is $13 yard. So if you want the dictionary stuff, you just tack that on. But yes, so the panel's 11, the yardage is 13 a yard, and I'm just so excited. Can you tell? I'm kind of excited about it. I don't know who else could be as excited about a map panel as I am. But honestly, like, people, they sell like big fancy maps with little fancy push pins for you to do your various, travels. And honestly, if you're a quilter and you are a traveler and you want to like put your travels in the United States down into fabric, this is the way. This is how you're going to do it. And the reason I say that is because you can embroider your road trips, where the highways would be. You could put buttons on each of the places where the cities that you have vacationed in. On this previous map project, I put a button for everywhere that I taught and spent the night and things like that. And it's just it's just very, very, very fun. Um, at first I thought they left Hawaii off of it, but they didn't. It's actually like tucked in there next to Alaska. So it is the full United States. It's not just And I guess if you were in places near like the Canadian border or the Mexican border, you could do that. So um Charlotte, I will save one for you. No worries. Just come and get it when you come back. It will be here for you when you are back. So don't sweat it. It will not sell out. Okay, I say that though, and I really, really hope it sells out. But the number of bolts we're getting, it's going to be around for a little while. And the reason I went so heavy on this is because this is like this is like a Mr. Boney to me. Okay, this is one of those panels. I believe in it so much. I was willing to put this much on the line for this panel. That's how much I know this panel is going to sell. Because there you can only hear I wish you had the map panel just like that one so many times before you realize you should just do that. And this came at the right time. Mariana, good evening. How are you? Hope you're doing well. This panel came at the right time because we're out of Mr. Boney's. Mr. Boney was my best-selling panel, and he's now officially sold out. He's officially sold out at Riley Blake. I can't get any more unless we order, I think it was like 500 of him. Now, I love Mr. Boney, but I don't have enough for 500 Mr. Bonies at the moment. Okay, so let's just say. But when this panel came out, I knew. I could tell this was going to be a winner. So I don't mean to hype up this amazing panel like this, except that's how much I believe in it. And I know it's going to be one of those you're going to love having. Even if you don't make this project today, or you may know of someone who you need to make this project for. There's always that person, that traveler in your life. This is going to be the one. Okay, so I'm just saying. And then we're getting the dictionary to go with it, like the so this whole collection, which we're not getting the whole collection, we're just getting these two pieces. The whole collection is called Old School. It's got a lot of like blackboards and erasers and dictionary pages and cursive writing and things like that. So I wasn't like really sold on all the rest of the fabric, but that panel and this dictionary is like chef's kiss. So the reason though that I'm digging this dictionary, there you go. I love it. See, it's already right there for you. I'm planning my road trips for when I retire next year. So I this is so weird. So I have a dictionary. It's one of those really super old, like the dictionary's this thick. It's got those like little notches for the letters on the side of it. And this dictionary is a beast, and it's kind of falling apart, and that's because I'm that nerd that used to read I used to read the dictionary. Now, let me just explain about this dictionary for a hot second, because before you get like to I think I'm a pitiful person for reading the dictionary as a kid. This dictionary was amazing, and it had plates, tipped in color plates in the dictionary, and those plates were, I mean, so instrumental in me as a person and as a kid. And it would have like the different names of like the stratosphere and the atmosphere, like, so it would be like giving you all the different names of all the atmospheres. And then it would also go through the different time periods for like um like the Jurassic and the Cretaceous and the, like all those, like, his like prehistoric time periods, and it had like planets and star system charts and uh biology plates and you name it, but this magical dictionary, which I still have. Um, my dad was like, "Do you want this little dictionary?" And I'm like, "Yes." I can't get rid of my dictionary. Um, that dictionary, and so that to me, that's why when the pattern was shown and it had the dictionary border, I was like, I'm sold. Give me a bolt of the dictionary. I can't, I can't, I can't. Right? So you're not supposed to be this connected to the fabric in your shop. I'm this connected to the fabric in my shop. But I have to say, like, I feel like it's a good fit. This is such a cool quilt, and I think you're going to have a good time with this amazing panel. Now, uh just to, once again look at the panel, I have yet to figure out what the other side of this panel, okay, like what this little section here is. I can't tell, like, where or what that's supposed to be, um because the pictures I've seen of it were like this, they were really tiny. Okay, so notice that it doesn't even make anything out of it, the quilt doesn't, but I'm sure you could throw it on the back or whatever. I don't know what kind of like settlement that's supposed to be or what. I won't know until I get the quilt panel in, because then I can actually see it and it'll be big enough for me to look at. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. So get the panel, get the yardage. The free pattern is going to be on and is currently in the secret thread quarters right now. So that is going to tell you how much yardage. So, but I'm gonna just pull it up and look at it anyway, because I think I should. So it's gonna tell you how much, there it is. How much of the dictionary you're gonna need. Come on. You need 5/8 of a yard of the dictionary, so you're basically just gonna need a yard. Because is it 5/8? I cannot see. This is so tiny, this writing on this thing. Lord, hear my prayer. I feel like I'm having one of those moments. Like, okay, it does say 5/8, so you're gonna need a yard, and that will get you enough for, so easy Buy 1 yard of the dictionary, 1 panel, boom, bada bing, you're all set to go, right? So, there you go. You're and so right. I'm excited. You can tell. Wednesday can't get here fast enough. If that doesn't sound too weird. I tell you. So, my friends, it's really boiling hot. And so we're down to the last bits here of um these pieces. Now, you're probably like, Cheryl, you said last week that you were going to do all of these trims and we were going to be seeing a finished tuffet by now. And so let me just briefly explain why that didn't happen. There is a secret project currently in 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 the works. It's big news. It's huge for me, and it is taking up what I think is every waking moment that I have. And um and I don't have a lot of waking moments because we're trying to have like a great summer with Max. He is having the summer of his life. Lucky kid. And he and Charlie are having a great time. And I am trying like crazy to finish said secret thing. All will be revealed soon, like within a couple of weeks. But I can't say anything about it until then. And so that's why it feels like things are not done. Okay? And that's because they're just not done. Because I've been a little busy. and it's because of that thing. And when you eventually see the thing, you'll be like, oh yeah, Cheryl, I totally understand why things have been a big secret, and that makes total sense. Because right now I know it does not make sense. But here we are. Okay, we've got 4. Do we have 4? 1, 2. This is number 5, and we need 8. Is that how many I need? I don't even know. So here's the piece. Okay, we're gonna count the seams. Oh, this is my little microphone. Isn't he cute? 1, 2. Well, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, we need 8. Okay. So at least we know how many we need to make. And yeah. So this, as we've been talking about, are for the pieces in between each of these sections. They will be applied, and they're going quite swimmingly. They will be dimensional, which is awesome, and I think adds to the amazingness of this piece. They're going a little slower than I would like. And I thought I was going to, sit in front of the television and do this. But I've been doing the secret project in front of the television instead. So it's kind of like, it's one of those like 6 of one, half dozen of another kind of things. I can do the one or the other, but not both. And yeah, so that's where it all is. And this likes to slide off of the table all the time. So that's what's happening with this project. And then I know that when I have like a million things going on, I need to find a way to uh 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 you know, decompress. And I do that with television. And I truly do not watch a lot of television uh on the regular. I try to just I do it in huge batches. So I'll find a time when I'm not busy, and then I'll get like, I don't know, a good chunk of time to watch a show. So I'll either binge it, or I'll do what I'm doing right now, which is decompress at the end of the night with one episode a night over several days. Well, I am in the middle of watching The Bear, which is a show on Hulu/FX. So if you have watched The Bear or you are watching The Bear, let me know in the comments. Oh, Kathy. Yeah. So well, these are our needles. This one is bent. If you can see, it is not straight. Let's like you can see it kind of hovering over the thing there. This needle's been around the block. It's a little uh little old, but it's it's okay, right, for this project. But you're supposed to throw these in the trash every 10 to 12 hours of sewing. Um, so yeah, this is the so of course it's the eye, but it's how I thread it. Let's unthread it and I'll show you how I do it. I have a whole video here on YouTube that shows you how to do it. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, if you are not watching on YouTube and you're watching on Facebook, you can watch this process on Facebook, although I shall demonstrate it for you right now. And what it is you have the end of your thread like so, and I pinch until all the fibers are going in the same direction. And then what I like to do is I like to scooch it until you can't see, you see just the very little bit of the thread, and I put the needle onto the thread, and I you can thread a needle every time. And this works for very, very thick threads. So if you have a needle that you are really trying to get onto uh you know, it just it works every time. And I don't need a fancy needle threader. I don't need and it does help that the eyes on our needles are like excellent and fantastic, but yeah. I mean, that's just kind of it's kind of a thing. So yeah. Anyway, the bear. I'm watching The Bear, and of course, it's a show about a restaurant in Chicago and all of its characters. And my husband and I both watched season 1 together, and then season 2 came out and we just never got a chance to watch it. And I am now I think three episodes into season 3, which is new. And oh my gosh, um I am in love with The Bear, and it is getting all kinds of great um reviews. So if you have not watched it, it's great. And I will say, if you are easily if watching TV shows gives you anxiety because the characters are full of anxiety, It may not be the show for you, but if you can separate that and just like watch it and not get full of anxiety from the characters, you're going to be well rewarded. Thanks. I love your needle. Thank you. I do appreciate that. And I do hope that the little um needle demo there shows you how I do it. It does work with all kinds of needles, so that's why I like it, because it's not just specific to the needle that I'm using. You can use it with any thread and any needle. But doing that method, it works for me every time. It's like it's the go-to because it works. Okay, so this technique is still, I would consider this like a combination of smocking and knot. And this one's a good one. Uh it's a gathering sort of trim technique that was very popular in the late 1700s. And I think, it's one of those where we'll see how much I like it when I haven't when I start applying it. Then I might hate it, but right now I enjoy making it. Um isn't that always the case with like all these things you enjoy? It's the making, it's the journey and the end. I don't know. Marion, you have have I watched Elsbeth on Paramount? I have not, but I have Paramount. So I'm kind of now I'm gonna have to look that one up. Cause man, I love a good show. Um right now, see, normally I'm into all the costume dramas because I like all the costumes. But right now I'm watching The Bear, which would be considered more of a reality or a real, like it's like a modern day drama. And oof, I mean, it's got some serious heady topics, but if you're a creative person, uh yeah, if you're a creative person, it's pretty cool. Kind of like a monk character without the OCD. Ooh, I love Bridgerton too. Yeah, Bridgerton, just I think it just crossed. What did they say? I think it just crossed like the 10th most watched Netflix series. And I mean, that show came out. I watched them all in one day. Uh, because that one I just knew I couldn't be behind on that one, right? Gonna have to check out this Elsbeth one. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm a big fan of of good TV. So I will say that I did, and I think you could almost watch this one episode of The Bear without watching the rest of the show. Like that's how good this one episode really is. But um the one episode is in season 2, and it's called Forks. It's the 7th episode of the season. And honestly, you could watch that episode without watching any other episode of television of that show. It's that good. And I have to say it's probably one of the best best episodes of television ever. Like, that's how highly I think of that episode. Um, you could watch it without having ever watched the show and still, come away with the message. It's that good. So if you're not gonna watch any other episodes of The Bear, watch, uh, the season 2, episode 7, the episode called Forks. It's that good. So good. Um, and it got me thinking of, like, what are the other, like, perfect episodes of TV? You know how they have, like, there's people who have said that, like, there's singular episodes of television that are kind of, like, iconic, and, um, yeah. I know that there are always, like, the kind where it's, like, the after school special versions of, like, sitcoms, the one with the really serious, concepts, that kind of thing. I've read, that a lot of people have said that those are iconic episodes of television, but this one, it's it's I don't even think it's an hour. I think it's under an hour. But it is probably one of the single best episodes of television ever written and ever done. It's that good. And I'm coming to it like a season late. I'm not even watching it, and at the time it was even out. I'm watching it like a year later. So that's kind of messed up. So it went under my radar for a whole year. Like, nobody's talking about this. It's so good. All right. So yeah. Um I do think that it's a good series. So for this particular piece, if you're watching me do this arm length test here, uh these other pieces, I feel like this one's way too long, but it's from my shoulder to my wrist, okay? So I'm doing this to measure. That's like a really not oversimplification of the length that this needs to be. I'm not really doing a whole lot of, like, exact measurements on these. I just need to make 8 of them. Okay? This is number 5. So, you know. But yeah, I'm trying to get through the end of season 3 of The Bear. And then I will check out your recommendation, Marion, because I love TV recommendations. And um I know I have some episodes of, like, Outlander to catch up on. I have a couple of seasons of a couple other shows. What happens is that Charlie and I get into a show, and then either he uh either I don't like it and he wants to watch the rest of them, so he just watches them on his own, or he doesn't want to watch the rest of it and I have to watch the rest on my own. And I don't think that he's not willing to watch The Bear. I feel like he is just too busy right now to watch it, and I love The Bear so much, I will watch it again. So if you know me, then you know that I also teach a lot of business classes, and I do have a business Patreon. So for fellow business owners, um, and so that is what's called B2B, business to business. and I do a lot of breakdowns of things in the quilt industry for fellow quilt industry folks. And um, there are even a lot of business lessons in a show like The Bear that really do show what it's like to run a business. Now, while I'm not running a restaurant like they are in the series, man, are there some parallels over like just the general anxiety of running a restaurant or a business, and like the numbers and making things work, and just in general that kind of thing. And oh man, oh man, um it's just one of those things where I can't believe that uh I am so invested in such a weird little show. Anyway, of course, it makes me very homesick for Chicago, and it's definitely a Chicago. It's got Chicago as its backdrop, so of course, I'm uh, definitely makes me feel homesick for the city. So just saying. Um, yeah. So other than that, I'm kind of getting we're getting through what's happening here in Paducah. So let's put this on the side by side while I talk about that, because this is just kind of interesting. Paducah is having a little tourism boom because of the boats that should be going up the Mississippi. So, if you do not know, Paducah gets about, well, in years past, it was about 60 riverboats a year. This year, we're getting about 30 some odd. And part of that is because there was one of the cruise lines closed. And when that cruise line closed, it just, those dockings went away. But we picked up a new docking, and that docking is um, Viking. So, probably heard me talk about this last week, but we had our very first Viking river cruise docking here in Paducah. And man, that Viking cruise is luxury. It is very, very high end. And so we feel extremely lucky to have the Viking river cruise just even consider coming to Paducah, because we while we are a little main street, right? But we do have, the National Quilt Museum and a bunch of other really nice attractions here in Paducah. So you don't think of Paducah as this big tourist attraction, but because we're on the river and we can get dockings that come either the Ohio, which would be across the top of Kentucky, or we can get the Mississippi, because we are very close to the Mississippi. So we're kind of like at this weird little we're a confluence of two rivers anyway, but we're very close to the confluence of the Ohio and the Mississippi. So that was really interesting. So we get both Mississippi cruises and Ohio cruises. So that's why we get so many here in Paducah. And so Joy's asking, how was our business on Saturday and Sunday from the boats being in? The Viking boat will be back again No date decided yet because of the flooding on the Mississippi. So that is what happened. So uh we had very good business Saturday, Sunday, and Monday from the all the riverboat dockings, and we've had extra riverboat dockings yesterday, today, tomorrow, and even next week we're getting the boats, including boats that have already been here. So the Viking River cruise is coming back to Paducah again because that Viking River cruise is going up the Mississippi, and they cannot go past, I think it's St. Louis, because the Mississippi is flooded north of 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 uh of St. Louis. So they cannot go past that, which has been meaning that these boats are turning around and taking alternate routes. Well, one and many of these alternate routes are taking them to Paducah. And in some cases, like this Viking River cruise, they're going to Paducah again. And so the bonus for some of these folks, which is really good, and Joy, you hit on something that was a little bit about what was happening is some of these boats they dock here in Paducah on a Sunday or a Monday. And if you have not been to Paducah, then you do not know that everything is closed on a Sunday or a Monday. And I mean everything. We are just like, we tried being open on just a regular, on the regular being open on a Sunday or Monday, and it is dead. So there's no business to be had. But we opened on Sunday and Monday for the riverboats, and that was very positive for us. So when there's a riverboat in town on a Sunday or a Monday, I'll open. But if there's no riverboat in town on a Sunday or a Monday, I'm not open. And so, of course, the Viking boat comes on a Monday. And we've known about this for a whole year. Okay. We've known Vikings been coming. We knew when they were coming, we knew the dates, and still stores in downtown Paducah didn't open because they didn't think it was worth it. So we opened, it was good, but now the Viking boat is coming back, and they're coming on a day when all the stores will be open. So that is really good. I think that's a positive for the city. I think that's positive for the Viking fan or the Viking cruisers. Just in general, I think it's a good thing. So if you are watching and you are one of our cruisers, welcome back. We're excited. I think, these folks, they pick their itineraries because of the places that they want to see and they want to go, and they come here because Paducah is one of those places they want to come. And uh and one of the ladies who was on a in the store today, she was on a riverboat cruise that had been diverted. They were supposed to be going up the Mississippi River, and now they're going across the Ohio. And she's a quilter, and she was so thrilled that she was getting this extra stop in Paducah that wasn't planned on their itinerary. So I thought that was kind of cool to have somebody come in and be so happy that they got rerouted to Paducah. But yeah, I mean, it's a neat A neat thing that just happens here in Paducah all summer long. We get cruises all the way through October, so that's pretty exciting. And I'm just excited that, more people get to experience our little town and people from all over can come into the store. And I just, again, you know, this is just the coolest thing for both our cruisers and for all of our travelers, right? Because I just think that that's just going to be like such a great little panel. I'm so excited. You have no idea. So, yeah, I think it's going to be fun. I think you are gonna have a great weekend, right? It's Memorial or not Memorial Day. It's an Independence Day weekend, technically, isn't it? Yeah, because it was yesterday. It will just continue on with the rest of Independence Day through the rest of the weekend. I hope you get some time to sew this weekend and cool off because it's so gross and hot outside. I will be here all weekend. I will be here tomorrow, but please go and buy the map panels. They'll be here on Wednesday. I will see all of you next Friday. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. Bye. Happy weekend. Thank you, Mary. I will see all of you later. Bye bye.